Hey, it's Jonny Pierce from the drums, and you're watching What I Love.
What does it take for you to believe that I have changed? I know very well that I have blood under
My favorite album of all time is pretty simple for me to answer because it remains number one always for me. And it's not the Beatles, and it's not the Rolling Stones, and it's nothing even like that. The artist who really changed my life is Björk, and she put out an album called Homogenic in 1997. I was still in high school, and I just sort of started listening to real music, and I grew up in a household where we weren't allowed to listen to anything but gospel Christian music. My father is a pastor. My mother is a pastor. My whole family is very, very religious. I am not. And so I'd started kind of exploring, and I was listening to like Moby, Everything Is Wrong, which is a great record. And I was finding like digging into the drum and bass scene in the UK, and I was getting really into electronic music, and then suddenly Björk puts out Homogenic, and that album to me was like nothing I had ever heard in my life, and it just blew my mind, and it still blows my mind. I mean, if you put it on now and listen through it from front to back, it is it still sounds like the future, and it was put out in 1997. My boyfriend was 3 years old when that record came out, so it's it's a long time ago. And Pitchfork just reviewed it for a second time. They kind of, after some time has passed, reviewed a second time, and they gave it a 10, which is very rare. It's an amazing album, which just means I was right all along, by the way.
yes, it's true that
My favorite artist of all time would have to be none other than Björk. She makes herself really vulnerable. I think she's been an example for me to express not just the joyous sides of being alive, but also the depths of depression, and I relate to her in this way where I'm kind of forced to be, because of the art that I do, I'm sort of, by default, I have to be out in the world, talking to people, meeting people, standing on stage, being seen by lots of people, and something that I've found in her music is she really, what she always really just wants is to like run away and hide from all of that. And she's actually, if you ever met Björk, she's very, very shy. And I'm not a shy person, but I do share those feelings of just wanting to like shut everything out and just be alone with music. And sometimes I wish that I was able to just write music, put it out in the world, and it be that simple. But alas, you have to make music videos and artwork and do interviews and go on press tours and be on a tour bus and play in front of a lot of people. You have to form a band and get along with people and get in fights with people. There's so much that goes, you can't just write a song and just put it out and have it be that simple. So anyway, I relate to her on so much.
but I still love you. I love you. I still do.
The first real bit of music that I got was actually this band called Joy Electric. It was a CD that I had purchased based off of the artwork. I thought the artwork was really interesting. The album is called Melody, and it is this really bizarre analog synthesizer, like pop music, but it's not synth pop. It's weird. It's like there's something sort of goth about it, but he sings about lollipop forests and butterscotch like rivers, and it's just the whole thing is so bizarre. And it's really quite beautiful. I mean, I'm in my 30s now, and I still have never found music that sounds quite like Joy Electric, and Joy Electric actually was really influential in the types of melodies that I use in my music even today. So check out Joy Electric Melody, and you'll kind of, I bet you'll kind of be like, oh, I can see like some drums stuff in here for sure. I'll probably try to get the new Arca album. Every record that he puts out, I just really adore. I think he's really special. He actually ended up working with Björk on her last record. He produced most of it, I think. But I think he's Argentinian, and he is just like, I don't know, his mind is just so brilliant. You know, it's sort of like Aphex Twin and Jackson Pollock kind of got together and made something together, and suddenly you have Arca. So I had the opportunity to go see him in Houston, and I ended up not going because Aphex Twin was playing, and so I saw Aphex instead. But I would encourage everyone to keep supporting Arca, because he is a real genius, and he needs all the support he can get. I mean, if you want me to just be really, really honest, it's my music, because I just got off tour. So there's a song, my new single, Blood Under My Belt. It's very, very, very catchy, almost to like an annoying place. But that's just been like rolling in my head over and over. I wake up and that song is in my head, and I go to bed, it's in my head. And it's not even my favorite on the album. So it's like a blessing and a curse, I guess. Well, to be honest, I follow Britney Spears on Instagram, and if she were to put out a new album, I'd probably listen to the whole thing all the way through. I don't know why exactly. There's something about her that I relate to on some level. I think she is she's kind of crazy, and she is I don't know, she's just like kind of plucked out of nowhere and put into the spotlight, and there's something very tragic about her life, and so it's like watching this soap opera, so yeah, I pay attention to Britney Spears. I'm not in love with her music, but I definitely enjoy her. And I guess music that I might listen to that I probably don't like to admit, every once in a while I'll check out Blink-182.
I see death coming at me too quickly.
I would say the music video that really kind of like wowed me when I saw it was Massive Attack, Teardrop. It's very, very simple. It's just a fetus singing in a womb, and that's all the video is, but it's really, really stunning, and it was my first taste of Massive Attack, and I fell in love with that group shortly thereafter. I'm not sure if I've ever been to a concert where I've just been completely enamored with it and thought that it was amazing. I'm actually not a big fan of going to shows or festivals, and I really like my music indoors, and music for me is so personal, so I don't like sharing it with a group of people. I like having headphones and just kind of really getting into what I'm listening to. But as far as something that was kind of entertaining and beautiful, I remember seeing Jonzy when he put out a record, I guess maybe 5 years ago or something. It was his solo album. And the show for that was pretty spectacular. I remember it was really beautiful, you know, the projections. And so, but that was like more of a show than just like a band on stage. So, but yeah, Jónsi was cool. I liked that. I think the song that always gets me really, really good, and I have to kind of be in a calm place to appreciate it, but would be Dolly Parton's I Will Always Love You. That song really sums up how, it's such an example of how like such power can come through such simple wording, you know, when it's so genuine. You don't have to have flowery, elaborate, descriptive words. You can just, it's a very, very sad song. She's ultimately saying, I love you, and I know you love me, but I know that I'm bad for you. And as much as I want you, I have to let you go. I mean, just thinking about it gets me crazy. Like right now, I feel emotional. So it's such simple lyrics, so powerful, and she sings it so sweetly and softly, but it feels like a tidal wave, you know? So that song gets me every single time.